Sig Sauer is a Swiss-German gun manufacturer. It's been in the arms business for many years already. This company is formed by the amalgamation of the Swiss SIG and the German Sauer, with the intention of making high-quality firearms. Their venture enabled them to dominate the European handgun market between the 1980s and 1990s. They produced several impressive pistols that are based on the P210 system. These days, the Sig Sauer is one of the best destinations for shooters who are looking for reliable handguns and rifles. In fact, it has penetrated the US market. Even law enforcement and military agencies are using Sig Sauer handguns. That's proof that this gun maker is an excellent source of highly reliable pistols. Hello everyone, this is Bodhi from Click Clack, and in this video I've listed all the best Sig Sauer guns ever. Stick until the end so that you'll see all the legendary firearms that came from this venerable manufacturer. Before we start, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe buttons. It helps the channel a lot. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 5. Sig P320. Back in 2017, Sig Sauer overthrew Beretta, Glock, and the other handgun manufacturers for the M17 modular handgun system of the US Army. Of course, it achieved this exceptional feat in the form of the Sig Sauer P320. By now, most of us know that the M17 is based on the P320. On the surface, the latter shares the same appearance as SIG handguns, but compared to its predecessors, it has updated schematics on its internal components. Furthermore, the MHS is available in both the full-sized M17 and the compact M18. Both of them are chambered in 9mm. They're comparable with 17 and 21 round magazines. Unlike other SIG pistols, the P320 is a type of striker-fired pistol that doesn't use a firing pin and hammer. Hence, it's not susceptible to snagging your clothes when you holster them in your waist. Furthermore, the P320 features manual safety, which is an essential US Army condition. This handgun is also a double action only weapon, which means that a single trigger pull will require you to release its pin and cock the pistol. That's the only way you can fire the gun. By the way, the P320 is not just available for military use. Even ordinary shooters like you and me can experience using this wonderful concealed carry handgun. It has civilian counterparts in the form of 357 SIG, 40 Smith & Wesson, 9mm, and 45 ACP. Number 4. Sig P365. Of course, this list would not be complete without the Sig P365. Arguably, this handgun is probably the most popular weapon that SIG has ever made, and there are a lot of reasons why it remained that way until now. This 9mm pistol features a 10+1 capacity, housed in a compact frame. When it was first released in the market, many were surprised that it had a similar size to the Glock 43, which is already considered as one of the best concealed carry pistols today. Overall, the P365 is a small weapon. It's comfortable to carry even if it's holstered in your body for an entire day. It arrives with two 10-round magazines. One has a minimal pinky extension, while the other magazine is a flush fitting. You also have the option to get a factory 12-round magazine, but it extends the gun size slightly. It will give you twice the capacity of the Walther PPS M2, S&W Shield, and Glock 43. Furthermore, this gun features Sig Sauer X-Ray 3 night sights, which are downright impressive. Its front sight flaunts a night sight capability and high visibility setting for extremely bright conditions. Meanwhile, its rear sight has two tritium vials. It has been serrated as well to minimize glare. Also, the P365 is extremely comfortable to hold and shoot, but I can say that it is ideal for shooters with small hands since the grip is just small. And since it's a mid-sized pistol, it's definitely snappier than most mid-sized pistols. Controlling it is not as difficult as it seems. Doing follow-up shots will never be a burden, which is necessary if you're using its extended magazine. Number 3. Sig P226. There's something remarkable about the Sig P226 that many shooters are unaware of. Specifically, this gun is the very breakout pistol of Sig Sauer in the US gun market. It has some exceptional qualities that make it one of SIG's most popular firearms. Technically speaking, the Sig P226 is developed by the Sig Sauer for the US Army. It was designed to compete with the M1911A1 handgun, which was released several years after World War II. While it is true that Beretta has toppled it, the Sig P226 was eventually accommodated by the SEALs. The reason for this is due to the fatal flaws of the Beretta handgun. The Sig P226 has similar mechanics to its predecessors. It comes with a double-action, single-action design. Its first shot would require you to pull a 10-pound trigger. After that, the succeeding shots would only have a light 4.4-pound pull. Compared to its predecessors, the P226 features a double-stack magazine, causing its grip to widen, but at the same time, it enabled the handgun to accommodate 15 9mm rounds. This is twice bigger than the previous Sig Sauer handguns. Numerous models of the Sig P226 are available in the market today. The most notable ones are the P226 MK25 and the P226 Legion SAO. Both of these handguns are full-sized firearms that feature moderate recoils, impressive accuracy, and firing consistency. These are durable guns too, as they maintain their reliability even after 1,000 rounds. Number 2. Sig P220. Our next stop is the Sig P220. This is the second gun produced by Sig Sauer that climbed into prominence. Initially, this gun was called the M75, but later on it was popularized to be the P220. One of the interesting aspects of the P220 is that the Swiss Army adopted it as one of their official sidearms in 1975. Technically speaking, the gun is an upgrade to the legendary P210. However, it has several unique features from its predecessors. For instance, it includes a manual decocker that decreases the hammer into a safety notch, but without the need to pull the trigger. Furthermore, the Sig P220 has a firing pin lock that prevents accidental firing if you ever drop the gun while it's cocked. It is also interesting to note that the P220 has a larger trigger and shorter barrel than the Sig P210. At the same time, the P220 is still in production, which allows you to try the closest thing to the legendary P210. The P220 is currently chambered in either 9mm, 10mm, auto, or 45 ACP. Hence, it also offers versatility when it comes to how you can use it. Moreover, it has established a reputable footing to law enforcement and tactical fields in the United States and Sweden. And if that's not enough, one should know that the P220 is the official sidearm of the Japan Self-Defense Forces. The gun doesn't have excessive recoil, so anyone can manage it efficiently. It has impressive accuracy too, all thanks to the well-fitted internal components. It's also a lightweight gun that features an alloy frame construction with a weather-resistant nitron finish. And finally, number 1. Sig P210. Of course, it's fairly reasonable that the top of this list goes to the grandfather of every Sig Sauer gun. The Sig P210 is the very first pistol that Sig Sauer ever produced. It's the one that started all the P2XX pistols of the company, which is a testament to its quality. And it's not a coincidence when shooters say that it was one of the best designed handguns in the 20th century. The Sig P210 was adopted by the Swiss Army in 1949 and effectively replaced the Model 29, which is a copy of the Luger P08 pistol. Again, this is proof that the P210 is a highly desirable tactical handgun. Today, there are hundreds of handguns in the gun market, but despite this fact, many enthusiasts still consider the accuracy of the P210 to be on the top. That's how good this pistol is. The construction of the P210 is akin to a Switch watch. In short, it is durable, functional, and beautiful at the same time. It has intuitive parts fitted perfectly to become a fully reliable handgun. Its architecture is anchored on the short recoil operating system created by John Moses Browning himself. This firearm is easy to disassemble as well. In fact, you can disassemble it similar to a Colt Browning type of pistol. By the way, the Sig P210 is chambered in 9mm, so it has the power to quell threats. Perhaps its only downside is that it doesn't have an extensive magazine. Specifically, this gun only comes with an 8-round capacity. But aside from that, I can say that the P210 sets the bar for self-defense and tactical pistols. And that completes our list. If you want to see more informative videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.